If you are listening to this and you still believe in God, but you feel tired, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You didn't lose your faith. You didn't wander off. You did not grow cold. You stayed. You stayed through seasons that asked more of you than you ever thought you could give. You prayed through years, not days. You carried responsibility, grief, and unanswered questions quietly, because that's what you were taught to do. You showed up for other people when your own heart was heavy. You kept believing, even when believing felt costly. This kind of tiredness, it doesn't come from weakness. It comes from faithfulness. You have lived long enough to know that faith is not always dramatic, doesn't always look like miracles or mountaintops. Sometimes it looks like getting up and doing what needs to be done again, without applause, without clarity, and without relief. You have believed God for a long time. You have trusted Him with children, with marriages, with homes, with help, with health, with futures that you just could not control. You have buried people you loved. You have let go of dreams you once held tightly. You've learned how to survive things you never thought would be yours to carry. And still you believe. That matters. If you feel worn down, it is not because your faith is shallow. It is because your faith has been carrying weight for a very long time. And weight leaves a mark, leaves an imprint. You are allowed to acknowledge that. And there's a kind of tiredness that comes when God feels familiar but distant. You still know Him. You still believe He's real. You still pray. But something feels quieter now. The prayers that you've prayed for years sound the same when you say them. The scriptures you've known your whole life feel familiar, but not always comforting. Worship doesn't lift your heart the way it once did. And sometimes you wonder when faith became more about endurance than joy. This doesn't mean God has moved away from you. It means your faith has matured into something deeper and heavier. Silence does not mean absence. Quiet does not mean abandonment. Familiarity does not mean God has lost interest in you. Some seasons of faith are loud and full of answers. Other seasons, well, they're steady and quiet, asking you to keep walking without explaining why. That kind of faith can feel lonely, especially when no one talks about it. God is not disappointed in you because you don't feel energized anymore. He's not asking you to perform faith or pretend that this season is easy. He sees the years you have carried belief faithfully, even when it cost you something. If God feels quiet right now, it does not mean He has left. It may mean He is closer than words, sitting with you rather than speaking over you, holding space instead of offering explanations. And if all you can do in this season is stay believing, stay breathing, stay showing up, well, that is still faith. Quiet faith is still faith. There was a time when my children were very small, toddlers, 5 and under, 4 children in total, little shoes by the door, toys scattered across the floor, the kind of ages where they still need you for everything. I had escaped an abusive relationship with my children. We didn't leave and immediately start over. We spent nearly 4 months in shelters first, living out of suitcases, sleeping in unfamiliar rooms, learning how to stay quiet when we needed to. I learned how to make instability feel normal so my children wouldn't be afraid. After those months in shelter, we relocated to another state. Felt like the answer to every prayer I'd whispered during that time. Distance, safety, a real change to begin again. My parents and family lived nearby. Having them close felt like protection, like roots, like maybe we could finally stop running. We built a new life there, slowly, carefully. The house was small, but it was peaceful. My children slept through the night. They laughed again. I also myself believed, after everything, that we were finally safe. Full year went by. A year of routines, a year of quiet evenings, a year of believing that the worst was behind us. Until one night, 9:30 p.m., there was a knock at the door. My children were already sound asleep. The house was quiet in that deep nighttime stillness. The knock startled me because nothing ever happened that late. My heart tightened before I even reached the doorknob. When I opened it, 2 police officers were standing on my step. And before they spoke, my eyes moved past them to my driveway. That's when I saw the car. My ex was sitting inside it with his new girlfriend. After a year, they had found me. The officers explained that he had gone to court, that permanent custody papers had been granted to him, but only for his children, 3 of my 4. My baby, my youngest son, stayed with me. But my other 3 children had to leave. I was given 10 minutes. 10 minutes to wake them. 10 minutes to get them dressed. 10 minutes to explain something no mother should have ever had to explain. I can remember crouching down in the bedroom, my hands shaking, and I gently woke them up, trying to keep my voice calm, trying not to scare them. My youngest of the 3, just 2 years old at the time, didn't understand who these people were or why they were here. How do you explain something like that to a toddler? You don't. You just hold them and try not to fall apart. 10 minutes passed so quickly. I stood in the doorway holding my baby boy and watched the car back out of the driveway, watched the taillights disappear. I watched my world leave in silence. And then the house went still. Not peaceful stillness, empty stillness. I collapsed on the kitchen floor. I screamed. I cried until my body ached. I cried until there was nothing left in me. Hours passed that night. My parents came over. My family came. They tried to console me, but there was absolutely nothing anyone could say. Even surrounded by people who loved me, I felt completely shattered. That was the moment I thought I would not survive. But I did. It took lawyers. It took traveling back and forth to Florida. It took the help of a relative. And it took $10,000 that I did not have. Most of all, it took God, holding me together when I could no longer hold myself together. Step by step, piece by piece, I fought for my children. I showed up when it hurt. I kept going when I wanted to quit. And eventually, I got them all back. Full custody. My children home where they belonged. That season changed me forever. But it also taught me something that I will never forget. Even when your life collapses in one night, even after you thought you were finally safe, God does not abandon you in the aftermath. He carried me through that. And if He carried me through that, He can carry you through what you're facing now. After something like that, faith doesn't disappear, but it does change. When the crisis finally passed, and when the paperwork was signed, and when my children were home again, when the worst thing I could imagine was no longer happening in real time, I did not feel victorious. I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel triumphant or relieved in the way people expect. I felt so tired, bone deep tired. The kind of tired that settles in after survival mode shuts off. The kind of tired that comes when your body finally realizes how much it has been carrying. I still believed in God. That never left me. I knew He had carried me through something I could not have survived on my own. I could see His hand clearly in the outcome. But inside, something felt worn thin. My prayers didn't sound the same anymore. They weren't desperate, but they weren't bold either. They were quieter, simpler. Sometimes they were nothing more than a whispered acknowledgement that God was there and that I was still here too. I wasn't angry with God. I wasn't doubting His goodness. I wasn't questioning whether He loved me. I was just exhausted from believing through something that took everything I had. And this is the part we don't talk about enough. There's a tiredness that comes not from lack of faith, but from long faith, from staying, from trusting God through things you never wanted to experience, from holding on when letting go would have been so much easier. Faith after survival is different. It's steadier, quieter. It doesn't shout or rush or prove itself. It just simply remains. If you've walked through something that has changed you, and your faith feels quieter now, you are not alone in that. Some faith isn't loud anymore. It just breathes. And sometimes, breathing is enough. And I'll see you next time.